Hey there, everybody. Time to do the show. It's pregame time. Come on, let's go. I've got a game preview for you all to hear. I've got both teams' lineups. Hey, can you grab me a beer? I've also got a contest. It's called Guess the Score. Guess the score of the game and just a little more. Add the first goal scorer. Put a guy from either team in. If you're the first to get it right, then buddy, you will win a cash prize given to your bank account. Fact. I send it to your email. It's done through Interact. Let's see who's here and talk a bit right now before I start. I might turn off the microphone. Excuse me if I fart. Later in the hangout, if you join me for the game, I'll do some play-by-play in color and talk to every name. Let's have fun despite the way. Do that one again. Let's have fun despite the way that our team is playing. They'll probably lose, so don't lose your shit is really what I'm saying. Light them if you got them. I hope you like the show. I'll try to entertain you. Let's get started now. Let's go. Oh, I forgot. There's one last thing for this game against the Blues. That's where we'll start. Time for the game day news. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. All right. Yeah, so we got some news. Let's get right into it because I've got quite a bit here. Caden Gooley is out a minimum of 8 weeks. 8 weeks for Caden Gooley with a knee injury. He was seen wearing a brace on his left knee, and it makes me wonder if it's ACL or MCL or ACL-MCL tear. Brendan Gallagher out with an additional 2 weeks minimum at this point. With the same injury, just it's apparently something that was nagging him all season so far, and he re-aggravated it, as we saw the other day, and he's out for 2 weeks minimum. For a comment, I think it was by Scotian Canadian. Tell me again how Coach Marty doesn't have to deal with injuries like Coach Dom did last season? Mike Matheson and Sean Monahan are out for 2 more weeks. I guess up to 2 more weeks. It didn't say minimum, so. Did I have another injury here? I think I might have had another just on the injury report for the other team. Ryan O'Reilly and Vlad Tarasenko are both out. I think recently, too, with injuries. It's 6 weeks for O'Reilly, 4 weeks for Tarasenko. So I don't know what the injuries are. I didn't write that. But that's on the other side there. Nick Suzuki has been named to the NHL All-Star Game for the second year in a row. Now, Cole Caulfield was not named, but if you want to see him in there, and I've done this now, and I did it the 10 times that I'm allowed the first day. So the fans will have to vote Cole in. If you want to know how to do that, there's a link in the description of this video. How to vote him in. I think it's just on NHL.com as well, but there's a link in the description. You can do it 10 times a day for I don't know how many days. And let's vote Cole onto the All-Star team. Speaking of Cole is now only the third Hab in Canadiens history to have 2 consecutive 20-goal seasons, before the age of 22. I had supper just before. Stéphane Richer, Guy Lafleur, are Stéphane Richer and Guy Lafleur. It's not a new guy, Stéphane Richer, Guy Lafleur. I'm an idiot sometimes. Stéphane Richer and Guy Lafleur are the other 2 to have done that. So don't forget, vote Cole onto the All-Star team. The link is in the description. You can, if you don't want to look in the description, go to vote at GameZone, gamezone.nhl.com. gamezone.nhl.com, and you can vote there. Tonight is I wrote Davis Savard. That's really weird. Tonight is David Savard's 700th NHL game. He spent 597 of those games with Columbus Blue Jackets, 14 with the Tampa Bay Lightning, where he won a Stanley Cup, and he has spent 89 so far with Montreal Canadiens. The last time that the Montreal Canadiens and the St. Louis Blues met was October 29th of this season. They beat them 7-4. If you remember that game, we had a lot of fun that game. It was fun to see them do that. And that was in St. Louis. So we'll see what happens with that. Uri, that's his name. Uri Slavkovsky is in the lineup tonight. That makes 40 games. That means that this is his first full season, and he will be one season closer to free agency, which he should hit, I think, at 25 or 26, because it's 7 years in the league or by age 27. I think that's the rule. So he started at 18, 7 years will be 25. So, yeah, that's what's happening there. I checked the lineup. He's in the lineup. Habs are 0-6-1 in their last 7 games. They've been outscored 36-12 in that time. This is game number 8 in my prediction for an 8-game losing streak. I told you I felt an 8-game losing streak happening, and it is. If they lose tonight, it'll be the 8 games. And counting, I don't know when it'll stop, to be honest with you. It's the same lineup tonight as in the Rangers game. Didn't do that game, so anyway, I have the lineups. Jake Allen is making his 6th start in 8 games. And that's it. That's all I got for game day news. Let's see who's here, and we will ask me anything you want. I'm going to do a preview. I guess I should say that, right? Just in case you didn't get it from the poem. I'll have a preview, lineups like normal, all the normal stuff. And we have the Guess the Score contest. Oh, did I put that here? I did. Guess the score of the game, and the first goal scorer of the game. You pick that guy from either team, and if you're the first one to make that guess with the score and that player, you win the cash prize directly to your bank account via Interact. Let's see, what else do I have to do? That's it. Let's see who's here, and we'll talk to you guys for a while. Let's see, Habs Guru. Habs Guru's got 6-2 for St. Louis with Pavel Buchnevich getting the first goal. I was going to go with, I was thinking of him and somebody else, and I wrote his name down, but I wanted the other guy, so I crossed it out. I could show it to you, but I'd have to do a lot of harm to you if I did that. I got to just give me a second here for the next one, because you can't do that. What I mean is, you can't have Bob Cannon in the room without doing that. That's what I really meant. Hey, Bob, how you doing? You get back up there. He says 2023, 1993 to 2023. It'll be 30 years since they won the Cup. Better than all the other Canadian teams and a lot of U.S. teams. And he's a good poem, Rick. I imagine that's the trailer that was running before. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. He also has Blues 4, Habs 1, Braden Shen with the first goal. Jason LaRose, 3-2 Habs win, Dak first goal. Stan the Man, good evening, Rick. Good evening, Stan. 4-3 Habs. There's no, there's sort of a vowel in there, but Kyrgyz. That's what I'm going with that. Hey, NHL Hockey News, how you doing, man? Stan also has he does it again, and this time it's Kiru. I don't know why I put the EU in there, but Jordan Kiru, I believe Jordan is his first name. Awesome. NHL says Habs won 2 games in December, 2 big games in December. It was a bad month, and I think I don't know. We'll see what this month looks like. They've got mostly home games this month, so I think they're on the road 3 times. That's it for 3 games, or 3 games on the road for the whole month. Allen won the Molson Cup. I'm like, is it possible not to pick anyone that month? I was going to say, how did anybody get Allen got it? Really? Wow. I guess that's actually a surprise. I don't know who I would have given it to, but let's see. ABL, how you doing? Blues 5-2. Barclay Plager with the first goal. The late Barclay Plager's rising from the grave, and he's going to come to Montreal, and he's scoring a goal tonight. And it's the first goal, too, because he's got to get back to the cemetery and the grave. He's got a curfew, I don't know who you mean by him now. Filibuster. Hey, Filibuster, how you doing, man? See, Owen Beck was traded to the Peterborough Petes today. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. David Weum, 7-2 Blues, Suzuki first goal. Rick Bengal. How's it going there, Rick Bengal, fellow Rickster? Wow, Owen Beck. Yeah, and I read about that on Twitter this morning or something like that. Today sometime. Hey, Quinn, how you doing, man? Burning his contract, Slav is plain stupid. That's nothing to do. Okay, maybe you worded it around, but it's nothing to do with Slav, right? And you know that, right? It doesn't matter if it's game 40 for Slav. All he has to do is be on the roster. I read it. I read the rules. He has to be on the roster, playing or not, for 40 games, and it's considered a season. So he has qualified. Habs will win 6-3 because only you can prevent forest fires. Susie with the first goal. Awesome, Phil. I don't know if you saw the very beginning of the live stream, but I wrote a poem about the opening and I read it. So after this you might want to go read. I wrote a poem. First one in a while, actually. At least it feels like that. Let's see now. Where am I? Owen Beckanic may go down as one of the bigger steals. You mean Owen Beck? You calling it Beckanic? Okay. Yeah, you missed it at the very beginning. It opened the show, so you just have to, when we're done here, or anytime you want, you just gotta restart it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Well, Rick, you should have just said that you. Oh yeah, that's spell check did that. Yeah, yeah. No, it really has nothing to do with Slav. You could say it's stupid on the Habs part, but considering the injuries, I think that's the reason. I mean, the injuries that they've had and are continuing to have, and he's going to stay. Yeah, like I said, I just read your comment. I would, I guess I think it's just the situation. I mean, I just think that's what it is. And also, you got to also look at it this way in a way. If he really does work out, if Slav is a hit and he hits his ceiling or close to, he's got a 3-year ELC. Then they're going to sign him to something probably long-term anyway. And the free agency year won't make a difference at that point. As long as they sign him before he hits 25 to a longer-term contract, free agency is not going to make a difference in that way, right? So I imagine that's what the plan would be. BL is going with Robert Thomas. You know what's funny about that guy's name? When my kids were young, on the other side in Dorval, we were living on the other side, the airport side, and the two kids they grew up with, two brothers, their names were Robert and Thomas, and I just think I always think of them because this guy's got both their names. But if he doesn't put up good numbers, you really want to sign. Besides, then he'll probably, I mean, his agent would want to sign for shorter term. Then it becomes like trying to position. But I think for Montreal, it works. It works out if you're gambling on Slav being, at the very least, a good NHL player. Then you get him. The free agency year doesn't matter. Hey there, Mike Jones. I'm doing good. How about you, man? I'm kind of not looking forward to this game, only in that we kind of got spoiled by the junior World Junior Championship games, which were the pace, the skill, the excitement of those games. Oh my God, it's not going to be like that tonight. So I'm just hoping for. I don't know what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a game that doesn't bore the hell out of me and actually is hopefully fun to watch. So, I mean, maybe tonight's the night where they break out and get a win. I mean, who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to go do the preview in just a minute. Got to get this going first. Light them if you got them. World Juniors were fan-effing-tastic. I watched the first game, which wasn't fantastic. I was doing Habs games on the second and third game, and then I watched the Sweden game, I guess. I don't even know where I got it. Maybe I didn't watch this. I started with the Slovakian game, and then the last two. No, I did watch the Sweden game. Yeah, anyways, it was just great hockey. So we're kind of spoiled, and the pace is not going to be nearly as fast. It's going to look really slow, as a matter of fact, and it's going to be a challenge. So this is game number 40. That's the good thing, is that they're basically halfway through the season. So we made it halfway. Oh, Rick, you're in Halifax. Awesome. That must have been still a fun experience, though, right? For the city, and if you're able to get to any games, it must have been a fun experience. The atmosphere must have been great. I know when Montreal's in the playoffs, back in the day when I was younger, when Montreal's in the playoffs and when they're making a good run, the electricity in the city and the excitement for the team is just so much fun. Yeah, but if Slav played in the juniors, it's probably likely that Slovakia beats us. So I'm kind of thinking I'm glad he wasn't. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Rick, for any city, right? That's a good point, and I'm sure Halifax needed it, right? What city doesn't? So yeah, and you guys did a great job putting this on, and it was really fun to watch. All right, I'm gonna get to my preview. Okay, so we got the 19-17-3 St. Louis Blues are in town to take on the 15-21-3 Montreal Canadiens. How to watch this game? It starts at 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can watch it on City TV, where I will be watching it. Sportsnet East in English and TVA Sports in French. Or if you're in St. Louis's region, Bally Sports Midwest. The season series, like I said, October 29th of earlier this season, Montreal beat St. Louis 7-4 in St. Louis. Last 10, this is where it don't look good for Montreal. St. Louis is 6-2-2, and they're actually 7-2-2 in their last 11. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Montreal 1-8-1. It says a losing streak of 6, which is right, but they're also started that losing streak with an overtime loss, so it's 7 games. Home and away. St. Louis is away. They're doing really good on the road, 12-9-1, and Montreal at home, 7-10-0. Put those two together and tail of the tape. Scoring chances for percentage, 44.19% for Montreal, 28th. So that's kind of dropping now. 46.06 for St. Louis, 24th. Goals per game, 2.56 for Montreal, 30th. 3.13 for St. Louis, 19th. Goals against per game, 3.79 for Montreal, 29th. 3.64 for St. Louis, 25th. So if there's one spot where St. Louis, you could say, is weak, they give up a few goals. And you can tell that with their goaltending. They're not doing great this year. Power play percentage, 14.8% for Montreal, 32nd, and 23.9% for the Blues. That's 12th, so another good power play to face. PK percentage, 73.8%, 23rd for Montreal, 71.6% for St. Louis, 29th. So another spot where they're there's a weakness there. Is if Montreal's power play was decent, maybe they score a power play goal against a team like this. Maybe they will tonight. Who knows? So the head-to-head record this year so far: 1-0-0 for Montreal, 0-1-0 for them. Goalies tonight is Binnington, 15-12-3 with a 3.21 goals against and an 8.94 save percentage. 2 shutouts in there, but you can see his numbers aren't great. And Jake Allen tonight, 9-16-1, 3.50 goals against, 8.94 saves percentage, no shutouts. Look at Monty's numbers, 3.44 goals against and 8.97. So virtually the same. So Montreal giving up 3.5 goals a game. Just look at the goalies' averages. They're giving up 3.5 goals a game, a little higher, but it's crazy how close their numbers are. Players to watch over the last 5 games in points for St. Louis, Buchnevich, 6 points. Caulfield for Montreal, 3 points. Goals, Brandon Saad with 4 goals for them, and Caulfield, 3 goals for Montreal. Assists, Buchnevich, all assists with 6, and Jacky with 2 assists for Montreal, and plus minus, Bortuzzo with a +3, and David Savard with an even. And there you go for that. Not great for Montreal, those numbers. Face-off percentage, 49.8% for St. Louis, 16th, and 49.9% for Montreal, 15th. Shots on goal per game, 29.3 for St. Louis, 28.1 for Montreal, and shots allowed, 32.4 for St. Louis, 33.6 for Montreal. Team leaders in goals, Jordan Kyrou for St. Louis, 19. Caulfield, 22 for Montreal. Points, Kyrou, 38. Nick Suzuki, 32 for Montreal. Average time on ice, Colton Parayko for St. Louis, 23-35. Mike Matheson still holding on to that. I don't know how. He hasn't played in a while. 24-14. And wins, Binnington, 15, despite his bad numbers. And Jake Allen, 9. Now, this is the bottom 11 because I wanted to include Florida. So Florida sort of moved up out of the bottom 10 briefly, and hopefully only briefly. Then it's Detroit, Ottawa, Vancouver, Philadelphia, Montreal, sitting 6th from the bottom. San Jose, Arizona, Anaheim, Columbus, and Chicago. St. Louis Blues top 5 scoring. Jordan Kyrou, 19 goals, 19 assists, 38 points. Robert Thomas, 10 goals, 27 assists, 37 points. Buchnevich, 12 goals, 20 assists, 32 points. Braden Shen, 8 goals, 22 assists, 30 points. And Tarasenko, who is out of the game, he's injured, 10 goals, 19 assists, 29 points. For Montreal, Nick Suzuki, 15 goals, 17 assists, 32 points. Caulfield, 22 big goals, 9 assists, 31 points. Kirby Dach, 5 goals, 18 assists, 23 points. Sean Monahan, still out and still in 4th overall on the team. 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. And Dvorak in 5th. 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. And we get to the lineups. For them, Robert Thomas in between Buchnevich and Kyrou. Shen in between Saad and Barbashev. Akiari in between Neighbors and Levo. Alexandrov in between Toropchenko and Pitlick. There's Tyler Pitlick. Mikola and Parayko, first pair. Rosen and Falk, second pair. Santini and Bortuzzo, third pair. Binnington getting the start. For Montreal, Suzuki, Caulfield, Dach. Dvorak, Slavkovsky, Anderson, second line. Evans, Dadonov, Armia, third line. Drouin, Pizzetta, Anthony Richard, fourth line. Edmondson, Savard, first pair. Harris, Kovacevic, second pair. Jacky, Weidman, third pair. Allen getting the start. And you can see down there, Caden Gooley with a leg injury. Sad to see. He's going to be out a long time. I think we're looking at, I believe, around the trade deadline is what we're talking about. As a minimum, I think that's when it works out for him to come back. So we'll see what happens there. December stats for the Montreal Canadiens. 4-9-2. They earned 10 points. 2.27 goals per game. 4.07 goals against per game. Their power play, 16.3%. Their PK, 66.1%. Just disgustingly bad. 25.5 shots per game and 34.9 shots against per game. So not very good numbers. This is to remind you all, once again, vote. Let's vote Cole Caulfield onto the All-Star team. There's a link in the description for you to do that. And please go and vote as often as you please and as often as you're allowed. And there you go. That's our That's it. So now you can question me on anything you want. I will answer you and we can have a conversation. That's how it works. Let's see where I was. Bye-bye. 4-3 Montreal, Suzuki first goal. But Allen is failing us. I don't know that it's fair to put that completely on Allen, but I mean, goaltending sucks right now, yeah. But the team is just they suck. So, you know, J-Fed 5-3 St. Louis. Kiru with the first goal. Sammy 4-2 Blues. Caulfield first goal. Rick says, besides bad games, I have no issue with Habs going 0 for 2023. Well, they won't, but yeah, I know what you mean. Let's score Bedard and Fantilli. Tumble, Florida, tumble. Fantilli was a little disappointing, though, you got to say, in the juniors, right? In the championship. Hey, Entertap, how you doing, man? Baby says, okay, why are you saying that? 8 weeks. That's for Gooley's injury. That's a minimum 8 weeks. I'm not saying 8 weeks or less. That's a minimum 8 weeks and maybe longer. To me, it's not a torn ACL, MCL, or one or the other, because I think that's a longer recovery. But he's got a tear, which means it's not torn off, but there's a little tear, and they got so it's probably bigger than what I've got, because I've got an ACL, MCL tear on each knee, but it's really small. His is probably a little bigger, but yeah, it's 2 months to recover at least. So yeah. Unless it's something else. I mean, I don't know, but my suspicion is ACL, MCL tear. And if you have both, so it's a little longer to heal as well. It's a little longer. Who's here? Entertap. Oh, okay, you guys know each other. Okay. Entertap has St. Louis 5, Montreal 3. Richard, the Three Rivers Rocket with the first goal. We should be playing Monty if we were going to tank, to see what he could do playing more games and see if he has a future here. I don't disagree with you on that. I think 6 games in 8 for Allen, especially when it's not like he's wowing us, that I think Monty should have had at least one more game in there, maybe possibly, right? Split them with him, right? Blues will hit young Habs early and fearlessly. Yeah, I mean, this could be a listen, we had a really good game against them early in the season, but I mean, it was kind of like a different team almost. Or they were because we didn't have any those injuries, and they were getting the bounces and stuff then. A lot of luck going on back then. Could be a bad sprain. I doubt a bad sprain would be 2 months minimum, though. Right? I doubt that. I think it's got to be a tear. Hey, Marwis, how you doing? No, it's not that long. Happy New Year, man. Would you pack it in for Gooley for the year? Why risk any further injury to knee? Well, I guess that's why they put them minimum, right? So once you're saying it's 8 weeks minimum, so if he's not ready, he's not coming back. Don't worry about that. They're not going to take a chance in a year like this. They're not going to put him in if there's any risk to his knee. Yeah, we saw those trades. I don't know if we touched on them. I didn't really talk about them, but I saw all that stuff today. Mary Joe's got 5-3 Blues. Brandon Saad. Well, I'll give you mine, because mine and Mary Joe's are very close. I have 5-2 St. Louis with Brandon Saad. So Mary Jo, don't worry, you don't have to change that, because anyways, it's my guess. That doesn't matter. But yeah, I think Brandon Saad's got 4 goals in his last 5 games. I just thought, that's the guy I'm picking for the first one. And I think Montreal's been getting scored against each game first, pretty much, no? Has to be something serious if it's 8 weeks minimum. Absolutely. A sprain is not serious enough for 8 weeks minimum. My opinion, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but that's my opinion. Yeah, everyone's telling me. I know. I read Twitter as well. Hey, Safka, how you doing, man? Oh man, Guyan was amazing. Yeah, I get, I feel sorry for you guys, but we beat you, so I'm not that sorry. But Guyan was amazing. Yeah. Whose PP is hurt? Who are we talking about now? What is that about, Phil? You put 1,000 on Rangers winning the cup. Nah, I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't put that kind of money on any kind of game. No. Um, that's risky, man. Um, all right. I did the yeah, no, I did it already, right? So I got about, I don't know, about another 7, 8 minutes before I'm gonna go, and then I'll be back at 7. Don't forget, I'm doing the live hangout at 7, where I will do some play-by-play and color commentary and talk to everybody in the chat. And don't forget, give a guess for, if you haven't, for the guess to score contest. His PP is hurt to go. No. Oh, you mean a groin? Oh, that's another. It could be a groin injury. I wasn't really thinking it could be a groin injury on that side, but I don't know. It says his leg. Is a groin injury a leg injury though? That I don't know because it says his leg. Oh, plus he was seen. He was apparently was seen wearing a brace on his left knee. So there, I think the groin's out. As far as I know, the groin is not on your knee. I'm not a doctor, but as far as I know, the groin's not on your. His penis area. Penis. In no, that's right. In French, if you don't speak French, a tire, like for a car, tire is a penis. So I don't know how it's pneu, but might as well just say penis because it's spelled Pneus. Penis. Yeah, no, it's a knee. He's wearing a brace on his knee, so it's got to be the knee. Could be both, but I would think it's the knee. I think it was his groin. He'd probably be on crutches too. And maybe he was on crutches with the brace. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about crutches, just a brace on the knee. Hey, Marwisk, yeah, as far as for Canada, well, we had him. He's no longer, I mean, he'll play for Canada down the road as a professional. He won't be in any more of those tournaments. Once he turns pro, he's not going back to that tournament again. Unfortunately, I'd like to see how much he could do there, but I'm sure whatever team drafts him is going to be, he's going to stay with the big club. Pneu. No, I know it's not with the, but if it's got two tires, it's pneu with an S. No. In Greek, I think also the name Peter is pronounced like that. Penis. Because when I was young, we had a friend whose name was Peter, and he's Greek, and that was his. They used to bug him when they wanted to bug him. They'd call him that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it exactly right, but that's what it is. Quebecers say tire, yeah, I know, but not separatists. Separatists say pneu. I know it's silent, but I'm English. What do you want from me? Ever hear me speak French? I don't sound like a French person. Rick, I don't know about that. I think they can. I'm not, depending on how big the tear is, right? It's not torn off. As long as it's not torn off the bone or the where it hooks up there. But then again, like I said, I'm not a doctor. No, wait, Panayata, I think is no, that's something else. And Pietro, no, I'm telling you, this was. Anyways, that's all I know from when I was a kid. It's been a long time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong because they used to bug the hell out of him. Separatists say tie are not amongst other separatists, though. Only when they're not amongst separatists. Queen transcends all. Yeah. Really? I thought Panayata was like grandmother or something like that. I thought it was like a nickname like that. Anyway, I've been known to be wrong before. You learn new things all the time, and sometimes you learn inaccurate things too. Hey, Rich J, how you doing, man? Okay, got another couple of more minutes, and then I gotta fly because I gotta feed my dog and my cats and get ready for the game. At least I don't have to worry about the stream because I'm watching it on City TV, which means I'm getting all the goals first. Hopefully, there will be Montreal Canadiens goals. I don't know. Learning is fun on the. Oh, what was that show? God damn it. I should have known it. Oh, learning is fun on the Magic School Bus. That's where I did all my learning. Hey, listen. Who are you gonna believe? Your Greek wife or me? I mean, come on. Jeez, come on. Let's get a W, please. Why? I called it for an 8-game losing streak. I want a loss. Listen, you know what? I'd love to see them win, and they might. They beat the St. Louis already this year, but I don't know. It's kind of asking a lot here. But you never know, right? So we'll see. Yeah, Marwis, though, I doubt that he's going to get sent to the farm right now because of the injuries. I don't. They need the bodies. I don't think they're going to send them. If they were going to send him to Laval, they'd have done it before today, because today's his 40th game on the roster, and that means his season is complete as far as it counts towards free agency. So he's got one season now already counting towards free agency. If they were going to put him in Laval, they wouldn't let him be there today. So I don't think he's going to Laval, not with the injuries. But I don't disagree with your point though, and because it's not what I'm saying. But it's your point is valid. I just with the injuries, no. Who do I believe Habs get rid of by trade deadline time? Well, anybody with a expiring contract, if they can, and then after that, I don't know. It's going to be. It's hard, it's hard to really say. I think there's a lot of guys that can be moved to make a package deal or something like that. I think I've said it before. Norlinder, I think, is expendable. On the big club, the guys that you want to go won't go because of their contracts. So I don't know. Of course, he believes his Greek wife. Carlos, go to NHL66.com. That's the best place. I'm not disputing her. I'm just saying, who are you going to really believe, though? Me or a woman? Come on, a man or a woman? You know, a man knows what he's talking about. Come on. I hope you all know that I am joking, because now I'll get canceled for that one. Who on the roster when suspended? Because oh, I see what you're saying. I believe so. Yeah, right. He had did he have a suspended? Anyway, I believe he is. He's still on the roster. And if not, well, that gives them the extra game. I didn't remember about that one. There you go. I don't know why you're picking on Anderson there, David. It's yeah, okay. Thanks for the update there. Yeah, I gotta get going. How many I got left? Okay, let's see. Drew, Phil. Calm down. Doing well at what? Drouin's doing well at not earning a contract for next year. Drouin is doing well at remaining invisible on the ice. Drouin is doing well at dropping down in the lineup. What's he doing well at? I don't get it. Two games suspended. The injured games, though, he's on the roster, so that I believe that doesn't make a difference. I'm not sure about the suspended ones. Oh well, yeah, it's true. All the other teams think he's good. We shouldn't talk about Drouin that way because the other teams might hear us talk. Oh, don't do that. All right, I gotta go. I'm only having fun with you guys, so don't take it personally. Okay, I'll be back in now less than a little over 15 minutes for the live hangout. Please look for that, and that's it. Till then, thanks guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate that, and I'll see you soon. Stay safe till we see each other again. I don't know what I'm saying all that for. Peace out, y'all. See you in a bit. Ciao, everybody.